Hello, hello, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. Today, we are starting. I'm already starting to get tongue-tied, so what else is new? But we are starting a new fangan today. We're gonna do Danganronpa Lapse. I've heard many good things about it. It's been on my list of games to play for ages now, and I'm fine. I finally downloaded it. I'm gonna play. I did lower the music a little bit because it was so loud in my ears. Hopefully it's not too loud. I think it's okay, but we'll see. I'm going to start a new game. Let's go. I don't know what to expect, honestly. The mini menu is located at the bottom of the screen. Okay, that went away too fast. Thanks. I really don't know what to expect. I know I've read the synopsis of this game. Oh. The heart of man is very much like the sea. It has storms. It has its time. I don't read that fast. I think they're in a hotel. Like, I think I did. I know I read the synopsis of this, but I can't for the life of me remember. I think they're in a hotel, though. So that should be interesting. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. What is that sound? Clearly it's a phone. Okay, okay. Yeah, it looks like a fancy hotel. Ooh, super fancy. It has 2 rooms. I opened my heavy eyelids to an unfamiliar room. Oh. I guess I was asleep, but where am I? This isn't my room. I turned my head to the right to see a small, old-fashioned alarm clock on the nightstand. The time read 7:30. 7:30? In the morning or evening? I reached over to stop the alarm when suddenly I felt a dull pain in the back of my head. Oh, it was an alarm, not a, I think this... Hold on, I need to... Is this the sound effects? 'Cause it's so loud. I'm sorry, it's so loud in my ear. Is that the sound effects? I need to fix it. Okay. Sorry. I'm back. It's so loud. Anyway. Sorry, that was an alarm. Not a phone. It sounded like a phone ringing. Ow. I sat up from the bed to rub my head and shut off the alarm. The pain subsided quickly, and it was then I did a full take of my surroundings. I found myself in a comfortable room. Soft lighting rested against the warm-colored walls. The furniture was devoid of any dust or dirt, and the bed itself was extremely plush. An unassuming painting hung above my head. I scooted from the corner of the bed, kicked my feet out from under the covers, and began perusing the room of its amenities. A roomy closet, a small writing desk in the corner, and a single bathroom. It was overall a rather luxurious room without seeming overly elegant in its design. The room is comfortable enough, but how on earth did I get here? Am I imagining this? I hope I didn't hit my head. I went to the bathroom, turned the cold tap, and let my cupped hands fill with the crisp water before splashing it in my face. Oh, he's cute! Look at his little fancy hair. The chill snapped my senses awake as I took a moment to collect myself. Well, as far as I can tell, at least I'm in one piece. I noticed my everyday coat was on a hanger behind me. I pulled the coat on and adjusted myself. It wouldn't hurt to recall the basics. My name is Echo Pine. Okay, Mr. Fancy Pants, Echo. I am a student at Calm Mind Institute, coming toward the end of my final year. My best friend is Ashley. Ashley. The last thing I remember was seeing my best friend Ashley off for the day as she went to take care of her horses. Ashley. I wondered if she made it home all right. I admit, I was a little less thorough in making sure she had made it into her house that late afternoon, but I'm sure she's all right. Or I hope. I racked my brain, thinking about that evening. I really like the art so far. I'm digging it. The art's really cool. Oh, she's cute. Ashley Westbridge. All right. Thanks for the lift. And be careful with your ankle. I can't believe you insisted on driving even though it's sprained. Oh, it's no problem at all. Besides, my ankle is almost done healing, so it's no big deal. It's not like I drive with that foot anyway. I'm just worried since I can't walk you to the door. I'm sorry, but Echo, he looks like he's like 12 and he's driving a car. I'm just imagining him being like, oh, I can't see over the... Sorry. Like, she looks like a teenage... She looks way older than he does. I'm just saying, that's just an observation. I wanted to see if Applejack was in the petting mood tonight. My house is right there. You don't need to worry. And if she is, I'll make sure to give that kitty a good scratching for you. Alright. Thanks. Night, Ash. Good night, Echo. I left the car in park and watched as Ashley crossed the lawn. I declined putting any more strain on my left ankle since it was still recovering from a sprain, but I remained vigilant. Her porch light wasn't on, so as she got closer to the house, she faded into the evening shadows. I waited a few more minutes, until I heard her front door close. Okay, time to get back. Look at this beautiful art. Look at all these beautiful CGs that I'm being blessed with. Thank you. I shifted back into drive and let the wheels crawl before accelerating. But upon my slow gaze across the gravel, I didn't see her living room light turn on. I was worried, but I was certain I heard her front door close. Was I really certain, though? I remember clearly driving off, not seeing her living room light. I didn't click that. I didn't click that. Nothing. Suddenly, a darkness welled up inside of me. So he's been captured into the killing game, and so is she. I think Ashley's here too. Was I in this strange, unknown, remote location because I didn't make sure my friend was safe in her home? No, that would be absurd. Those two things can't be linked together just because I was less cautious than usual. I combed through the room once more and realized I didn't have any of my personal possessions on hand or in the room itself. No phone to call Ashley to make sure she's okay. Sure, there was an ancient landline service phone in the room, but I didn't know where I was to begin with. I started to panic. I had to get out of here. I got so caught up in both my head and an unprovoked fear that I threw the door open with full force, nearly hitting the person just outside. And that person just happened to be... Whoa, watch it! Ash? Huh? Echo? It was strange. The very friend I thought I suffered a consequence for not making sure they made it home safe was standing right in front of me for some inexplicable reason. You're okay. Ashley Westbridge, a dear friend of mine. She is what some people would call a horse girl, which seems like a vague thing to call someone who just happens to tend to equines. That irreverent thought aside. Yeah, of course I'm okay. But what about you? You're pale as a ghost. Huh. I just got a little worked up is all. I woke up in this unknown place and I thought it was because I didn't see your lights go on in your house before I drove off. I rattled off the... I'm sorry. Why can't I speak? I get tongue-tied a lot because my eyes read faster than my mouth can speak. Does that make sense? I'm sorry. I rattled off the thoughts that stirred my fears just moments ago. Echo, it's okay. You don't have to worry about a thing. I made it home to take care of Hyperion, all in one piece. I was just a little tired is all, so I went straight to the stables behind the house and took the back door entrance. Sorry I worried you. Ashley wrapped me in a big familiar hug, and I immediately felt calm. Thanks, Ash. I know I shouldn't get so worked up about stuff like that, but sometimes I just can't help it. You know, one thought led to another, and I just jumped to the worst possible conclusion. Oh, Echo, you needn't fret so much. You'll make yourself sick with worry. However, I can totally understand where your worry might come from, especially in this scenario. Yeah, just where are we? Yes, that's the question. With my mind and heart at ease, I discussed the situation with Ashley. I told her that I woke up not long ago thanks to the provided alarm clock, and her experience was just the same. She too felt the dull pain of a lingering headache upon awakening, and she too felt a brief moment of confusion due to the unknown setting. I couldn't find any of my possessions in my room. I tried to find my phone to call you, but no luck. I don't have anything of oh, sorry, that was Echo, not Ashley. I'm a mess tonight. What is wrong with me? I'm so sorry. I don't have anything of note in my room either. I don't have any of my things with me, like my satchel or my phone. It's odd though. There aren't any answers to the obvious questions like, how did we get here? Where are my things, etc. I strangely feel comfortable here. I think it might be that super plush bed. Not gonna lie, I'd really like that back home. We laughed amongst ourselves and decided to explore what seemed to be some sort of mansion. I still felt uneasy, but thanks to seeing a familiar face, I felt a little safer. I closed my room door behind me, noticing there was a plaque that was adorned with the symbol of my high school. Looking further down the hall, the various other door plaques shared the same features. I spotted Ashley's right away as well. It seemed her room was just adjacent to mine, across the hall. It looks like there are other students here as well. Other plaques with school emblems, I'm assuming. Oh, interesting. So they all go to different schools. It seems that way. Although, I haven't run into anyone yet. Not literally, like you, of course. Haha, very funny. The hall interior was very ornate, with dark wood lining the walls and candle sconces lighting the path. The dark wood floor was covered in a thick woven rug that created a path toward an opening in the hallway. I think I can hear some others down the hall. Ashley took the lead as we curiously walked through the hall, taking in the ambiance as we gazed at the miscellaneous paintings of nature that hung on the wall. Like, is there some kind of significance to the fact that there's only nature paintings on the wall? Am I overanalyzing things? Probably. The sound of lively conversation grew louder as we approached the connecting room. I just want to say, so far, this seems like a very well-made game. I'm into it. The art's beautiful. The transitions are nice. I like it. Sure enough, there were 3 other people having a lively chat in the foyer. Hey, you two. Good of you to make it. I was wondering how many other people were gonna come around. You just count how many doors with plaques there are in the living quarters hallway. Nah, I'm not attentive enough for something like that. I'll just figure it out from how many I meet up with. You're awfully carefree, aren't you? I see a character with glasses and I automatically give them the Makaru voice. Yeah, it's because I have good company with you lovely folks. She's like, yeah, okay. Aw, come on. What's with the cold shoulders? I'm just here to have a good time. The person with the hat continued preoccupying his present less than willing company with his lively conversation. I quietly took in the atmosphere of the foyer before approaching the group. The main clearing was huge. It featured I'm sorry. It featured a shiny white marble floor extending to two spiral staircases on either side of its circular walls. An elevator resided in the center of the wall, opposite from the front door. A beautiful grand chandelier hung from the center of a marbled ceiling, just above a modest table at ground level. The wooden table itself was rather bare, only containing a decorative flower vase and a very polite note printed on premium-grade cardstock. Thank you for joining us on this momentous occasion. Please make your welcome official by signing in, utilizing the bracelets that have been provided. Simply tap the bracelet to the digital kiosk that is located at the foot of the stairs. I lifted my left wrist to see the bracelet in question. It was light. It was a light, simple thing, a rose gold plate with my name on it strung into a bracelet with a small chain of the same color. I hadn't even noticed it until now. Ashley was admiring hers just as I did. Her bracelet hung on her right wrist, just above her own wood cuff bracelet. I looked over at the other students' wrists as well, and they all had the same thing, albeit presumably with their own names. What was the purpose of these things anyway? Rather than get absorbed in wondering about the small decoration, I decided to join in small conversation. Hello there. Have you three already scanned your bracelets? Yes. We're all convened here just a few minutes ago. I would recommend you scan your bracelets on the kiosk as well, since it grants access to rooms after the welcome. Oh, well then, don't mind if I do. I went over to the aforementioned kiosk that was nestled strangely within the luxurious decor. The kiosk displayed a simple map of the first floor layout by default. The foyer led to 4 locations: the living quarters, the dining hall, the study, and the theater. So it's not a hotel. I thought it was a hotel. Is it a mansion? I know there's less characters in this, and usually there's 16 of them, but this one I think only has 10. I held up my wrist close to the screen, and it quickly detected my bracelet, displaying a sparse summary of information, my name, and a profile picture. Oh, he's cute. I like him. Thank you for signing in. You may now roam the first floor freely. Your bracelet corresponds to your room, and your room alone. They are paramount to keeping your personal room and its belongings safe. Please take care of it. Please make yourself comfortable with all the given accommodations, and once again, welcome. The screen went to the original map screen as it was before I scanned the bracelet. I stepped aside to let Ashley sign in as well, and in the meantime, got to introducing myself to the other students. Hey there. I'm Echo Pine, and this is my friend, Ashley Westbridge. Nice to meet you all. Likewise, I'm Arturo Campopiano, but just art is perfectly fine. Missy Vesper, the pleasure is all mine. Canon Ota. Have you all met before? That would be a negative. Nothing like making new friends though, right? Is her name Canon or Conan? 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 I'm gonna call her Canon. Canon said nothing, instead letting out a loud sigh with absolutely no subtlety in hiding her annoyance towards Art's enthusiasm. I see. That said, you mentioned you two are acquainted? Oh, yeah. We were pen pals the summer before high school started, and we just became close over time. Oh, that's quite endearing. Oh, thank you? I didn't expect that kind of answer from Missy. Maybe she's the type to secretly cry at romantic movies. Why are you already judging her? You don't know her, Echo. Don't judge her before you get to know her. Excuse me. Well, if we're all signed in, why don't we visit the dining hall? I don't know about the rest of you, but I feel tea is in order after waking up. I'm in favor of that idea. I'd like to explore afterwards as well. Yeah, I wonder who else we're gonna run into. This is exciting. Missy walked briskly toward the dining hall. which was just opposite of the living quarters hall where we entered the foyer. Art followed quickly after, which just left Cannon back in the giant clearing. I'll explore at my own pace, thank you. Oh, okay. I suppose we'll see you later? With a curt and definitive statement, Cannon made her case, stating that she was going to stay put in the foyer. Ashley and I followed the other two into the dining hall, leaving Cannon to her business. The dining hall was rather small and intimate. A single long woodcraft table and modest chandelier created the centerpiece. A black marble fireplace with a natural painting hanging just above decorated the far wall. The table setting bore 16 chairs, 14 on each side and 2 on the heads of the table. Oh, I think they meant like 7 on each side. Because 14 on each side would make 28 on both sides, and then 2 at the end, that would make 30. I got confused. Sorry. The table was already decorated with light accessories. Candelabra, small vases of flowers, and apparently I need an encyclopedia. And an encyclopedia about ships. The room itself was connected to a small kitchen, one with the usual kitchen staple appliances, an oven, a refrigerator, a large dishwashing sink, a gas range, and all the utensils and tools one might need. A small storehouse pantry was off to the side, with nothing of readily edible interest to the common person. Wow, this place is super loaded, huh? Art made a beeline for the 2 side rooms, poking in and out of the dining hall between the pantry and the kitchen. Missy, on the other hand, gazed slowly around the dining hall itself. It's a very fine setting, but not so much that it feels oppressively high-end. Yep, everything looks to be in order for a good meal. Art finally stopped pacing around and sat at one of the seats, kicking his feet up on the table as he looked around the room. Missy noticeably shook her head at the action. Yeah, you don't put your feet on the table. You don't do that. You don't know where you are? This is not your house? Where's everybody? This place seems like a bunch of people, but there was only 5 of us. I wonder if no one else woke up yet? Maybe the others ignored their alarms? Some people like to sleep in and all. I approached the natural painting above the fireplace, admiring the soft colors and brushwork. As I stood in front of it, the painting faded out to reveal what looked to be an emblem. Following the display of the emblem screen, an announcement came from the overhead speakers within the room, the voice silvery and modulated. Thank you for joining us today. We hope you have a lovely stay. Feel free to utilize the kitchen to your heart's content, or if you are unable to, you may use the automated cook feature by tapping your bracelet onto the kitchen's digital kiosk and selecting a meal. Or, if neither of those suits your particular tastes, you may consult your group's ultimate level kitchen hand. The emblem disappeared, returning the screen to its initial artwork display. Oh, interesting. So all the painting it's not a painting, it's a screen. I mean, it's just like the painting's on a screen. It's not like just the plain painting itself there. But what did that mean? What's an ultimate level kitchen hand? I turned to ask one of the other students, but it looked like Art had already figured it out. Or rather, figured something out. Whatever he started going on about next made no sense to me. Oh, I get it! This is the safe house of a private group provided for us, since we signed up for the preservation project. Huh? You signed up to be here? Yeah, of course. If I guess correctly, we all seem to be ultimate students. There are some serious ultimate vibes in this room, don't you think? Why am I don't know, for some reason I'm giving him like a surfer voice for some reason. I don't think he's a surfer at all. Maybe it's because it looks like he's wearing a wetsuit. Yes, that seems to be the case. What's an ultimate student? Don't tell me you don't know. Oh man, what are you even doing here? Ultimate students are typically high school students that super excelled in their field of expertise. They are often scouted by groups with various intentions, virtuous or nefarious. They will often have a focused set of skills that makes their abilities desirable to certain people, and with good reason. If there's a talent like you could think of, there's probably an ultimate student out there that'll knock your socks off with their amazingness. So, you're saying everyone here is super talented? You're kidding, right? You've been walking around this whole time with Ashley Westbridge, the ultimate jockey, and you didn't even know? She's the ultimate jockey? How do we not know that? We're her best friend. Huh? Ultimate jockey? She doesn't know either? What's going on? Are we in a... Is this an alternate universe? Did we switch dimensions? I don't really talk about my talent outside of my usual day-to-day. Hey, I've heard Ashley Westbridge's accomplishments. She can wrangle just about any horse and ride him to victory. It's quite impressive to be able to tame such creatures, and any variety nonetheless. However, I've read that you excel best with your main partner, Hyperion, a Pinto... How do I pronounce that? Schreikner? I don't know how to pronounce that, I'm sorry. Oh my! I didn't realize my achievements were so widely regarded. It's a little embarrassing hearing others remark upon them. Wait, how do these people know who she is, but Echo's been her friend for years and doesn't know this? I don't understand. Wow. Even so. I looked over to Ashley, who, despite the sudden grandeur, looked as modest as ever. Honestly, I just thought you were a typical horse girl. He's just like, yeah, I just thought you were one of those basic horse girls. I can say that I was a horse girl. I don't know whether to find that humbling or insulting to my talent. So Ashley held the title of Ultimate Jockey, huh? I was curious to know what that implied. I never knew her to be particularly eccentric when it came to her lifestyle at the stables. For how long during our friendship did she have that title? Oh, enough about me. What about you two? I admit, I can't really put a talent to either of your names. With this newfound knowledge of the situation, I was curious to learn about the other students here as well. Ooh, I can pick. Let's go with Surfer Boy. Your name is Art, right? May I ask what your talent is? Sure. I'm the ultimate golfer, dude. I'm sorry. I just imagined him be like, yeah, man. I'm the ultimate golfer. I was wrong. I thought he was a surfer. Arturo Campopiano. I'll never miss my mark. Total holes in one all day, every day. Wow, how did you manage that? I don't know. I can't stand having to put more energy into extra strokes, so I make the first and last one count. What kind of reasoning was that to become a pro golfer? That's an interesting way to go about it. I can't even imagine being able to control the club like that. It took a lot of practice, that's for sure. I used to golf a lot with my grandpa. It was all in good fun back in the day, so I guess I never really thought about it as work, you know? I flubbed a few times, sure, but who doesn't? Art seems to have taken a lot of pride with his title. It's admirable. Okay, let's talk to Missy. What those individual groups or institutions do with the students is beyond me. I've not heard many stories of success or failure from anyone who's had the luxury of being accepted. In any case, don't take much stock in the title is all I'm saying. I have to admit, though, I am rather curious of the titles, now that the subject has been brought up. That's understandable. I'm the ultimate tactician. Interesting. I wonder if because Echo doesn't know, he's probably the ultimate lucky student, I'm gonna guess. Tactician? Like battle tactics? No. It's more like political campaign tactics and strategies. The less interesting of the two people usually think of. I've been at the forefront of numerous political campaigns and battles, many of which I've been employed to strategize against by opposing forces. Really? Aren't you basically manipulating the winner outcome then? The choice is not mine, but the people's. I simply put the message out, framing it in the most self-beneficial way possible for each side. Listen, they start talking about politics and it goes in one ear, out the other. I don't care. I think political campaigns can be interesting. I don't disagree. But wouldn't Ultimate Campaign Manager be a more appropriate title? Well, I'm not the one who came up with the title. I see. Missy seems to be a very self-assured person who doesn't seem to care much for the extravagance an ultimate title implies. Such captivating talents. I'd love to watch one of your games, Art. Oh, it's nothing. I bet horse racing is much more interesting. Indeed. Your feats of athleticism are quite impressive. Yeah, I admit it's hard to imagine. Oh, it's really not such a big deal, Echo. Honestly, the whole ultimate student thing feels a tad blown out of proportion. Sensing Ashley was done with the praise, I shifted the topic. Well, now that we're all acquainted, why don't we look around some more? Looks like there's more to be seen upstairs. Oh, yes. It was a pleasure talking to you two. Don't be a stranger. We can explore together. Art's echoing voice sounded throughout the dining hall. Oh man, the kitchen features are so cool. What's this? He broke something, didn't he? He broke something, didn't he? He's the guy who comes in there and just breaks everything. He's me. On second thought, I might keep an eye on Art for a little. I'm sure he won't mind the company. Alright, we'll see you around. Okay, we're leaving. So that where they zoom in before they fade out. That was in V3 did that, right? I can't remember. It's been so long since I played that game. Ashley and I stepped out into the dining hall into the foyer once more. Cannon didn't stay for long. The foyer was devoid of her presence. Where to? There are stairs going up, but I think we should check out the entirety of this floor first. I was thinking the same thing. Why don't you pick where we go next? Sure. The other locations are the study and the theater. Let's visit the study. Let's go to the study. That sounds most like a library to me, and I'm like, bring me to the library. Oh yes, this is the best room in this house. The library. The study was cramped. Encyclopedias that filled to the ceiling covered an abundance of subjects, ranging anywhere from medical to athletic. There was a small office corner provided for studying the tomes in relative ease. Though, my bookshelves would not be filled with encyclopedias. They would be filled with books and manga. Encyclopedia who? No, we read for fun around here. Another. See, this is the problem. I read the word another with my mouth, but my eyes are reading the word kiosk because my eyes go faster than I can speak. I'm sorry. Another digital kiosk stood off to the side, showing a searchable list of books in the study. Ashley observed the kiosk curiously as I gawked at the variety of reading materials stuffed on the shelves. Oh wow! This equestrian encyclopedia was published only 2 years ago! I have an old version, so this could be interesting. You would be excited about that. What? Now that you know I'm the ultimate jockey, it all makes sense? No, you're still the same old horse girl I knew, but with a fancy title. There were 2 other students taking residence in the library, one meekly hiding in the corner, and the other calmly leafing through their book of choice. I'd be the one hiding in the corner. Ooh, let's talk to... Okay, I kind of want to talk to... This girl, I think, if we came up to her, she'd start crying. Because if someone came up to me, I'd be like, oh no, don't talk to me. Let's go to this guy first. The green-haired student noticed me approaching him and deftly flipped his book shut with one hand, giving me his full attention. Good morning. I immediately felt that attention to be near palpable from his focused gaze alone. Maybe I should give him a British accent. I like doing British accents, even though I'm bad at them. Are you finding everything all right? The study is quite a pleasant atmosphere, wouldn't you agree? Oh, yes. It's very well accommodated. The study as well as the rest of the facility. It's all nicely prepared. Oh, indeed. You could spend days in this well-kept study, enriching your mind in regards to whatever subject your heart desires. Does that sound like an inviting prospect? I don't see why not. A location for ultimate students should be in peak condition, right? This preservation project situation seems to be equipped for comfort. Ah, so you've been made aware of the preservation project. Wait, how come they all know about this project, but he doesn't? And I'm assuming Ashley doesn't either, but then again, maybe she does, because she's been an ultimate this whole time and never said anything. Why is he roped into this if he's not an ultimate? I don't know, I'm guessing he's going to be the ultimate lucky student, but... we'll see, I guess. He hesitated, as if chewing meticulously on his next statement. Do you have an ultimate talent? If I'm being honest, I'm not sure I even know what my talent is, considering the situation seems to revolve around it. Everyone I've met so far has some kind of title. I admire your candor. Who knows? You might have some innate skills that you personally think are average. You think so? I feel pretty ordinary, and I've never really been the center of mass attention for anything in particular. The skill might just require a specific habitat, so to speak. Luckily, this appears to be the ideal place of social environment for expanding upon such hidden abilities. However, I wouldn't worry much about it. Whatever underlying passion or talent you have is for you, and you alone to enjoy. That's reassuring. I feel like I've stumbled into something out of my leagues with so many skilled students. If you don't mind me asking, what's your ultimate talent? It's so hard to describe. I'm called the ultimate charisma. Cyrus Surik, by the way. Wait a second. Wait. Hold on. This dude's name is Cyrus, and his last name is just Cyrus, but with the letters mixed up. So he's Cyrus. Nice to meet you. Back at you. Pleasure. I didn't really understand the implication of his title, but I can feel a sort of alluring presence to him. Echo? That's literally what his title means. He's charismatic. So he's alluring. He has a good, enchanting personality. Hello? I suppose that's what charisma is. Yeah, hello. Maybe you need to open up one of these encyclopedias. Okay, let's talk to this poor girl who's probably gonna cry. I approached the meek student standing in one of the darker corners of the study. Hey there. Sorry to spook you. I was just going around meeting everyone. I'm Echo Pine. I was dragged out of my room by that guy over there. He's evil. I'm sorry. I love her. That's hilarious. He's evil. I peered over at the aforementioned person who just looked to be calmly inspecting the row of books.
Fine. He didn't drag me out. I ran into him when I was wandering around. I just wanted to be alone in the study.
Well, she has an industrial piercing. You know, fun fact about me. When I was in college, I wanted one of those piercings so badly. I do not have one. But, I wanted one very badly. But then I read that it could get, like, really badly. It could go horribly wrong if it's not done right. So I got scared and I never did it. But I think they're really cool. She shot me a troubled glance after admitting her lie. Can you tell me about yourself?
Me? I'm Sei Kano. I'm a watchmaker. Would you then, by chance, be called the ultimate watchmaker? I guess you can say that. I just tinker with watches and stuff. They go for really high prices, apparently, but I don't particularly care for the money.
Oh, she's cute. I'm saying she, but honestly, I don't know. I'm sorry. Maybe I should say they instead.
Someone once offered me 3 luxury cars for a single watch.
Wow, you must have some very well-admired craftsmanship.
I guess so, but I can't even drive. What was I gonna do with 3 cars?
I love her. She's perfect. She's hilarious. She's the funniest one so far. She clammed up and awkwardly turned back around to face the bookshelf corner. I didn't want to pry, so I just left her alone. Oh no. She's just like, oh, I'm done. I'm done socializing. I'm just gonna go stand in the corner. After meeting with the 2 others in the study, Ashley and I chatted about the other students.
So we met Sei and Cyrus, a watchmaker and charismatic person, respectively.
Is Cyrus going to be the ultimate cult leader, Kinjo? Cyrus? Is that who you are? I'm gonna call him Cyrus. I can't take his name seriously. Like, that makes me wonder if it's just a name he made up and he's just this evil cult leader and he's assuming a different identity. I don't know. I suppose one could become talented in improving their characteristics if they wanted to.
Could be similar to managing a brand, perhaps.
Maybe. Regardless, they seem nice enough.
Yeah, and Sei seems sweet, if not a little shy.
Let's go to the theater next. Okie dokie, Pokey. Ooh, fancy. Ashley and I walked across the hallways to our next location, the theater. The theater was something to behold. Although it was a fairly intimate scene with few rows of seats and a medium-sized stage. It still had an air of elegance thanks to the decor. The rich red velvet curtains glowed underneath the gaze of a bright spotlight. The stage itself was occupied by 3 students who seemed to be having a heated discussion. Okay, what voice do I give this guy? Okay. I don't know. You really want to stand by that theory?
Hey, to each their own. I'm not knocking you for not thinking the obvious. Let's settle down, please.
Absolutely not. I have no intention of changing my view for this scoundrel. Okay, Kinjo. Jeez, scoundrel. It's cold. Especially to a stranger.
You 2 don't need to get so heated about something like this.
It's an important matter between 2 strongly opinionated people. So we agree on that matter. Maybe I should cut in? No, maybe not. Maybe just walk away. What's going on here? The 3 turn around, surprised, presumably from not being able to see me at the unlit foot of the stage. Need you ask such a foolish question? We are discussing the dire and apparently questionable existence of this. The white-haired student crouched down to reveal a painting that was turned away from the audience. It was a framed picture of what looked like an inkblot art. Oh my god, stop. No, stop. No, that's from Zero Escape, oh my god. Oh, that's amazing. It's the dog painting from Zero Escape. Oh. If you played that game, or if you saw my playthrough of it, it's on the channel. But that's the exact same painting in that game. It's a dog. Oh, I see. So you're trying to figure out what the painting is. Yes. And what do you see? A dog. I stared at it for a moment, but looked up at the two patiently, in all seriousness, waiting for my answer. The dog. It's a French bulldog. I'll have to think about it. No immediate answer. I felt his judging eyes pierce my soul. It's a dog. Not everything has to be a dog. Okay, I'm with, I look at him and I think Kokichi for some reason. I'm with that guy. It's clearly an elephant. Bro. Elephant? It's a dog. So, just a different four-legged animal. The conversation seems pretty heated. I might have better luck if I just talk to them individually. Okay, I want to go to this dude, the guy who also thinks it's a dog. I approached the student wearing the fur-lined jacket. So, about the painting, I think I do see the dog. You don't have to lie. I don't care about what it is. In fact, I don't even know what the painting is either, so I made something up. Dog is an easy thing to imagine. It's just a practice of... Oh gosh. What? How do I pronounce that word? Pareidolia? Pareidolia? I'm sorry. You think I know how to pronounce words? Pareidolia? The act of preserving a subject or significance where there's no meaningful interpretation. For example, seeing objects in cloud formations or hearing indistinct voices and random noise. And in this case, seeing a dog in an abstract painting. Dogs are common enough animals, yeah? Who doesn't like to think about dogs? I stared at the painting a little longer. The more I looked at it, the more I willed it into being what he said it was, even if he did make it up. It's a dog. Where do you see an elephant? Am I supposed to see an elephant in this picture? It's clearly a dog. Here's his little snoot. Whoop the snoot. I'm looking at it trying to see if I could see the elephant that he's seeing, but I really don't see it. Maybe, I guess, if towards the right is the trunk, if it's just the head? I don't know. Clearly, it's a dog. Despite being told what the subject was, I couldn't make out anything within the shapes. Echo, please. Sometimes these protagonists make me want to scream. Isn't it a little cruel to make something up when he's so intense about it? Oh please, this guy likes to do that. He probably finds joy in it. He probably loves making people mad. I just wanted him to explain why he saw what he did, but he truly wouldn't. So much for friendly discussion. To each their own, I suppose. Well, anyway, I'm just going around meeting everyone. I would tell you my talent if I had one. You don't have an ultimate title? Or you can't remember? He seemed to be muttering under his breath about my last statement, but I paid him no mind and waited for his response. I'm Lyle Termina, the ultimate puzzle master, a connoisseur of word puzzles, block puzzles, escape room puzzles, the like. Okay, Lyle. Now, if you don't mind. Lyle turned back to the painting, ending our conversation abruptly. Puzzles, huh? Maybe he was trying to unscramble the shapes in that painting. Okay, let's talk to Mr. Dude who thinks it's an elephant for some reason. I visited the white-haired student on the stage. So, about the painting, I think I do see the elephant. Okay, Echo, you're just going around telling everyone what they want to hear? Okay, I see how you are. No need to feign understanding. I am quite self-assured that the painter's intention was to illustrate an elephant as abstract as it appears. Uh-huh. I stared at the painting a little bit longer. The more I looked at it, the more I willed it into being what he claimed was the true subject. I don't see the elephant either, though. I see a dog, maybe a dog with a bow tie on the bottom over here. The dog. I always saw a dog. I saw the dog in Zero Escape, and I'm seeing a dog now. Despite being told what the subject was, I couldn't make out anything within the shapes. Yeah, I can't make out the elephant either. So, do you have an eye for this kind of thing? An eye for abstract art? Oh, goodness. Ahime, my friend. I am not an ultimate artist. I'm the ultimate opera singer. Okay, I wasn't expecting that. Okay. He's probably like the bass opera singer, you know, like the super deep voice. He's probably, whoa. I can't do it. Okay, it's going by itself. He rambled on about something a bit further before stopping himself. Right. But where are my manners? Forte Solo. Charmed, I'm sure. His name is Forte Solo, and he's the ultimate opera singer. Did his parents know he was going to be that as soon as he was born and gave him that name? Or is that just a fake name he's going by? He gave a deep bow as he introduced himself, slowly rose, and went to look at the painting some more, indicating an end to the conversation. He sure has some interestingly placed dramatic moments. Okay, so let's talk to the girl now. She's cute. Like her hair. The girl who was caught in the middle of the quarrel stepped down from the stage and left the other two to glare at each other in silence.
Pandora Espere, nice to meet you.
I'm sorry if I butcher all of these names and all of these words, because clearly I can't read. Likewise, I'm Echo Pine.
Echo Pine. I hope we get along.
So, I was informed that this little group of students is composed of students that have ultimate talents. Did you happen to have a title of some sort?
Oh, yes. I am known as the ultimate baker.
Nice. That's a good talent to have. You can bake sweets.
And yourself?
About that. I don't seem to know. I don't think I have one, if I'm being honest.
Oh, that's no matter. It doesn't make you any more or less of a person.
So, what do you think the painting is?
I'm not really sure myself, but for something as ambiguous as that, it can be whatever the viewer wants it to be.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Ne sais pas?
Is that French? Sorry, I don't know. I took Spanish. I don't know. I suppose so. Perhaps it isn't the subject... Oh, that's her. Sorry.
Perhaps it isn't the subject of this piece that is most important, but rather it is the emotions it conveys to the individual. Black and white are quite striking colors to work with, are they not? There is a lot of symbolism behind those two simple colors. But I can only wonder if the artist behind the piece enjoyed creating it.
The artwork wouldn't have come to life otherwise, so I don't see why not.
I agree.
Pandora. She's such a warm presence. Ashley and I left Forte and Lyle to have their spat in peace. Pandora stayed behind, trying to settle the two of them down.
Phew. Forte and Lyle were kinda intense, huh? I'll say.
Oh, sorry, that was him, not her.
I'll say. I never really had a sharp eye for art, so what they were talking about is beyond me.
And Pandora is, brave for trying to calm them down.
It takes a certain kind of person to want to intervene when things get heated, huh?
Is that everything? That must be it, right? There's nothing else to do? We met everybody. After wandering around the first floor, Ashley and I paused in the living quarters hallway to gather our thoughts. So, those are all the available locations on this floor. I guess the rooms are interesting enough, but more importantly, I wonder just how many other students there are.
That other student from earlier, Cannon, just counted the doors, right? Why don't we go check it out?
But who knows if there are more students on other floors? There were stairs going up in the foyer, so we could check out that area too. And speaking of Cannon, I wonder what her talent is. Wait, that aside, how did I never know you had a super talent in horse racing?
Huh? Well, it just never came up, but I knew a lot of people before you who didn't particularly care for how much time I'd spent at the stables and racetracks, so I just stopped bringing it up. Besides, it's just easier to tell people I tend to horses.
So, what does being an ultimate level jockey imply? Does that mean you win a lot?
Oh, come on, Echo. I don't want to bore you with superficial numbers. I'll just say my winning percentage is 44% and top 3 percentage is 84%.
I don't know what those numbers are supposed to mean.
Anyway, I'm just a horse girl. I have other pets too.
Oh, she said I'm not just a horse girl. I thought she's like,
anyway, I don't want to talk about it. Just call me a horse girl.
Yeah, like your cat, Applejack.
Of course you'd remember Applejack.
How could I not? She clawed up my school vests. Oh, here we go. It's starting. The deep ringing of a school bell rang across the halls, echoing throughout the building. Then an announcement came over what seemed to be hidden overhead speakers in the ceiling. It is now 9 a.m. The second floor amenities are now open and will stay open until 7 p.m.
Second floor?
After the announcement, we saw Pandora filter out of one of the first floor rooms and into the halls.
Oh, Ashley and Echo, would you like to visit the second floor with me?
Sure, we were just wondering about it as well.
By the way, did you get anything to eat from the dining hall?
Huh? Oh, no. I was a little distracted by the whole ultimate students thing.
Oh, you're in luck. I made some croissants earlier. Here, help yourself.
She produced 2 items folded in cloth from her apron pocket. So she just carries croissants around with her, just like, this is my emergency croissant. I accepted the small cloth-covered delight and unwrapped it carefully, revealing a small bite-sized croissant. A heavenly warm aroma filled the halls. From the fragrance alone, I was enveloped in the comfort of feeling the sun's rays on my skin. Ashley and I took one each and bit into the flaky, buttery dough. A piece of chocolate inside melted as soon as it hit my tongue. It was smooth and rich, contrasting the light and sweet crumb of the dough housing it. Oh, cute! They're all eating little croissants.
That's the ultimate baker for you. C'est délicieux.
I don't know. Listen. I'm gonna butcher it. Can I say it in Espanol instead?
Oh, merci. But it's nothing at all. I just really enjoy baking. The look on people's faces when they smell delectably fresh bread coming out of the oven. The warm, fuzzy feeling you get when you eat your favorite food. Such a feeling is priceless.
Pandora was right. After simply enjoying the croissant, I felt an intense nostalgia from my younger days, when I would spend summers running around outside, basking in the fresh afternoon sun. Oh. For me, personally, it's smells that bring forth the most nostalgia. I don't know why. Maybe, I don't know if that's everybody. If like, there's a smell that I like, I could have forgotten it the whole time, but I smell it and I'm like, oh my god. I'm suddenly a kid again, and I was here doing this. Yeah, that has nothing to do with anything. I'm just yapping. Yeah, Echo, he's so tiny. He's so tiny. That was the power of an ultimate baker's delicacies, to invoke a warmth and sense of familiarity. What a wonderful thing.
Forgive me if I'm wrong, but I notice you two are quite close. Have you met before? Echo's my best friend. We've known each other for 4 years now. Ah, c'est Jimin.
Oh, goodness gracious. I'm so sorry. If you speak French, I apologize.
A long friendship is something to cherish. Definitely. Echo's always been there for me, even if they are a little worrisome.
Hey, how could you say that? Just looking out for you. Oh, is Echo not go? I thought... Am I using the wrong pronouns for Echo? Sorry.
I kid, of course. I really appreciate your concern, but you should think about yourself sometimes too.
Pandora smiled sweetly as we had our little back and forth. Sorry. Why don't we get going?
No worries. Shall we?
When is it going to be announced that we got the killing game going on? Wrist is hurting. Okay. The three of us walked back down the hallway toward the foyer, where the stairs to the second floor were. Hey, Pandora, did you meet anyone else this morning?
Anyone else? I can't say that I have. So far, I've only been acquainted with you two, Forte and Lyle.
Oh, sorry. I thought you might have run into a few others like we have.
This morning, I went to the dining hall, then the theater. Unfortunately, Forte and Lyle kept me from going anywhere else with their argument.
If we didn't see you, then you must have woken up much earlier than us, huh?
That's correct. I suppose you could say my internal clock has been turned to my habits, given my day-to-day life. I wake early to make sure my dough from the night before has properly risen, prepare any glazes I might need, prep my workstation. Oh, but I must be boring you with my daily routine.
No, not at all. It's fascinating, really.
Oh, you're sweet, Echo. Perhaps I'll invite you to help me tomorrow morning. Hope you're awake at 4:30 a.m.
Girl, even I don't wake up that early. I wake up at 5 for work. You will not catch me waking up at 4:30. That is ungodly. I barely can stand waking up at 5. That's also ungodly. Any hour before 9 o'clock is ungodly. Oh, sure. I can't promise I'll be fully awake, though. Pandora laughed lightly in jest as she went on her merry way up the stairs. She's cute. I like Pandora. Ashley and I followed suit, and we were met with another digital kiosk at the top of the staircase. The screen displayed another map, this time of the second floor locations, the atrium, the spa lounge, the climbing center, and the jazz club. What kind of mansion has a climbing center in it?
Maybe the owner is an eccentric rock climber? I think the assortment of activities presented to cater to the unique talents of various students. In fact, the kitchen pantry has a wealth of resources. I was quite surprised to find such fresh and rare ingredients. I imagine other ultimate chefs would be pleased with the selection as well.
That's a good point. There was a theater on the first floor after all. Forte and other ultimate performers probably utilized the room as a place to further hone their skills. The Preservation Project. It seemed like this group wanted to accommodate a myriad of intense and unique students. I wondered what kind of group had the ability to provide such a vast selection of activities and resources. Where to first?
I'm curious about the climbing center. His mansion must be huge if the house could take something like that here. I'd like to see the spa lounge. It must be a lovely, relaxing place. Echo, why don't you decide?
What? Okay. I like that I have choices. I'm assuming we're gonna go to both anyway. So let's go to the climbing center first. Let's explore the climbing center. We inspected the map for a route to the center and made our way there in no time. Have there been any windows at all in this place? Oh man, somebody's gonna die here. This is gonna be it. This is the place where they're gonna die. They're gonna fall off here and they're gonna be dead. That's my prediction. The climbing center was a vibrant, spacious place. The artificial rock and arch formations that carved the walls reached upwards of what looked to be 3 stories high toward a bright, naturally lit ceiling. Off to the side was a preparation locker room full of ropes and harnesses, as well as a small vending machine full of energy drinks and water bottles. Whoa. This place is huge. I can't imagine how anyone else gets up there. I craned my neck up, inspecting the array of colorful grips that dotted the sprawling ascending surface. The hanging ropes disappeared into the distance of the light.
The world is certainly full of interesting people and talents. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Pandora poked out from under one of the arch formations, just as taken with the incredible height as I was.
That's for sure. I'm an athlete, but I can't excel here. I don't think I have a good tolerance for heights.
If you don't mind my asking, how did you two discover your talents anyway? Isn't Ashley a little tall to be a jockey? I'm just saying. Usually, jockeys are pretty short. Ashley pondered the question for a second.
I was raised on the countryside on a farm, so it probably came to me like second nature. As a child, going to the racetracks with my father was honestly just another errand, that is, until he let me ride the horses myself. I felt a love for the exhilarating competition at that point. I was homeschooled by my mothers, one a teacher and one a prolific baker. They taught me everything I know about baking. I also cherished the enjoyment people felt when tasting my baked goods. Eventually, I, too, felt a love for the task at hand.
Wow, you two are truly incredible.
Echo, you're an incredible person, too. Don't let labels deter you from speaking to us as anything but your peers.
Huh? I don't know about all that.
Yeah, Echo. Don't think too much about the title stuff. We're still people, you know?
Don't think too much about the title stuff? Such a remarkable feat would be difficult to put aside. They were so humble when talking about their ultimate's talents. I wondered if I could ever measure up. After wandering around the climbing center, we set off to visit the spa lounge. Ooh, fancy. The spa lounge was serene and welcoming. A shallow pool was laid into the marble floor. A mesmerizing opalescent ceiling mirrored the pool above it. Several simple relaxation loungers lined the walls for general leisure. Off to the side was a storeroom stocked with perfumey inventory of scented oils, bath soaks, and skincare products. Just by the storeroom doorway sat a familiar kiosk.
Oh, I'd love to spend time here.
Pandora sat on one of the lounge chairs, stretching her arms above her head before relaxing her hands on her lap.
But now that I think about it, are facilities like this meant to be self-run by the residing students?
Pandora brought up an interesting observation. The kitchen offered fully automated meals, but they still provided the option of having the student utilize the kitchen and tools. Peeking into the storeroom, I saw a separate hallway of individual private rooms, labeled for certain services: facial, massage, aromatherapy. Hey, you might be right. There are all these little specialized rooms with all sort of specific equipment.
If you consider my talent in arts, there might be a racetrack or a golf course outside, along with the other outdoor recreation talents like angling, or skiing. Perhaps. Oh, that would be a very exciting prospect.
That can mean all the other facilities and activities have features that are tuned accordingly to certain talents.
Yeah, just from a glance. I figured the study was just a library, but I suppose there are resources there as well that are fitted for talents that require research or writing.
To think such an extraordinary place existed to benefit the many pursuits of equally extraordinary people. So, do either of you do anything special to train for being an ultimate student?
Je ne peux pas. Je ne pense pas.
Listen, I'm sorry.
Although, some could say I bake too much. I simply suspect my pastries have ended up in the right hands for me to be considered. I don't really do anything special either. I also race quite a bit, but most of my time is spent plainly practicing. Like Pandora, there may have been a scout in the audience. I honestly couldn't say.
I see. Just putting in the hours, so to speak, huh?
Perhaps we were just lucky enough to have been selected for this opportunity to meet the others. Cut of the same cloth, right? Oh, I couldn't agree more. I'm very charmed to be in such delightful company.
Neither of them seemed to be doing anything particularly insensitive to earn their title. I wondered about the others, whether or not they were trained, or if they too were just lucky enough to be selected. There it is, we're the ultimate lucky student. Was that a hint? Wandering about to our last destination, we finally came across the jazz club. It was a welcoming venue. Warm furniture and lighting gave the room an air of casual elegance. Table settings for the audience occupied the majority of the space, with a small stage in the corner for the performers. The close proximity between the two made the scene that much more intimate. A small green room was behind the stage curtains, and connected to it was the equipment and instrument storage. The bar opposite the stage had shelves upon shelves of beverages locked behind a sturdy glass case. A pretty classy atmosphere, huh? I wonder how many ultimate talents have toured this room for performances.
Oh, many, I'm sure. It's well kept among the rest of the room, so it'd be no surprise if one would feel comfortable here.
Then a thought crossed my mind. Do you think I could be some sort of ultimate jazz performer or ultimate bartender? Bro, you're like 12. You're not the ultimate bartender.
Have you ever handled an instrument before? Or mixed beverages?
No, but who knows? Maybe if I pick something up, I'll suddenly be stricken with an ultimate talent revelation and play like a pro. Cyrus said maybe it's an innate trait waiting to be discovered. It just occurred to me that perhaps these rooms aren't just for students with existing skills, but they could also be a sandbox for budding talents.
I suppose there's no harm in trying. Why not? I'd like to see the moment a talent has been realized.
Relieved that they supported my odd idea, I felt a strange confidence rising. Cheerfully, I went behind the stage and picked an instrument I thought would suit me. Ashley and Pandora both took a seat in the front row and watched in anticipation. I felt like a kid going through a toy box with how many options there were. How about this cello?
Go for it.
You're gonna play a cello first? Oh, he's so cute. Pandora gleefully cheered me on as I gripped the bow and placed my fingers on the strings across the neck. I laid the bow across the strings. Is it going to be an awful sound in my ears? I was nervous, but if what Cyrus said was true, that my talent was waiting to be discovered, I couldn't wait to realize it. I took a deep breath and drew the bow. And then... Oh, thank goodness it didn't... thank goodness it did not do it in my ear. Oh no, the sound I created tore through the air like a giant rubber duck was being unceremoniously stepped on. It was awful. I saw Ashley and Pandora flinch from the sound, but they still put on a brave face for my sake. Oh, please, look, Pandora's laughing at you. I chuckled nervously and gently placed the instrument back where it originally was. I guess that's not it, huh? I wobbled off the stage and plopped down wearily at the table with Ashley and Pandora. I was beyond embarrassed.
Oh, don't despair. You just haven't found it yet. Yeah, Echo. Not just anyone can handle an instrument. I mean, I thought that thing was supposed to be played like a giant guitar.
Girl, you think you're gonna pick that thing up? That thing is humongous.
I'm surprised you even knew how to approach holding it.
I've seen performers before, so I just imitated what I saw.
Oh, that makes sense.
Pandora held my hand in a firm grasp.
Listen, we're going to find out what your talent is. If we have to play 100 instruments poorly, at least we'll know we're one step closer to reaching our goal.
Pandora reassured me and Ashley gave me a warm smile. Thanks to you two.
Come, let's keep exploring.
We left the jazz club. Outside the room, we ran into an unperturbed Cyrus and Lyle in the hallway at the foot of the entryway.
Hello there. Having a fulfilling time exploring.
Yes, Cyrus. It's Cyrus and then Cyrus backwards. Bro, it's a fake. He's lying. What's your real name? I got my eye on you, Cyrus. Yeah, totally. I feel a little exasperated from the cello mishap, but I tried to play it off as best I could. What's up with you? Don't tell me you're already tired. There's a lot still left to explore.
Lyle, please. It isn't a race to make ourselves familiar with all the different rooms.
No, we were just about to be done over here anyway. It was just my luck that the room appeared to be soundproof. Based on their lack of adverse reaction, it seems neither Cyrus nor Lyle heard the disastrous sounds of a cello being poorly utilized. Then, the sound of ringing and a voice rang through the speakers. Your attention, please. All students assemble in the second floor atrium for a special welcome ceremony. Here we go. The five of us collectively made our way to the requested location, chatting about our discoveries along the way. You won't be happily chatting about with each other in the next 10 minutes. Okay, you're going to be told you need to kill somebody. You're trapped here. In order to live, in order to escape, you have to kill somebody and not get caught. Ooh, sorry. The end of the second floor hall fed directly into a spacious, airy locale. Natural light poured in from the high glass ceiling. The lush trees that framed the circular lobby reached toward the sky, well past the ring of decorative plants that occupied the second floor. Small shrubbery lined the base of the trees in a circular fashion, following and framing the eclipsed shape of the room. A well-maintained living wall lined the first floor's foundation. A bronze globe at the very center of the atrium drew the room together. Light and warmth flooded my body, filling me with serenity. Whoa! Whoa, bro! A familiar, excitable voice cut through the air, disturbing that serenity. Check this place out. Dang. Wouldn't it be awesome if they had like a mini golf set up in here? How cute would that be? Plenty cute.
Yeah, sure. Well, whatever.
Art and Missy entered the atrium from the foyer stairway entrance. I was surprised to see Missy still hanging with Art, but along with a timid Say trailing behind them to no less. I can't read. Slowly, our populace gathered at the center of the atrium hall. Cannon and Forte leisurely made their way in much later than the rest of us, but arrived regardless. I saw all the students I had previously met, but afterwards no one else came. Kind of a tiny class, huh? There were 10 of us, including myself. Art whispered the same observation I made. It was true that our class was rather small, but were we really going to be doing any learning here? I conceded calling a group of students a class was only appropriate. A hologram visual was presented at the centerpiece of the globe. A familiar voice came in from the overhead speakers. It was the same announcer from earlier in the dining hall. Oh my goodness.
This is a special announcement indicating the welcome of all present students. The Preservation Project Group would like to humbly welcome you to your provided safe house. As you are well aware, this safe house has been sequestered off from the growing concerns of disaster. You need not worry any longer of those concerns here.
Disaster? I peered across the room to see the expressions of affirmation. Everyone seemed to have relating concerns. I knit my brow.
As ultimate students, we've provided you with the best amenity.
See, amenity.
Amenities and environments to the most efficiently cultivate your skills and talents in utter safety. You may utilize the facilities to the fullest extent during the requisite hours. However, do not think of this simply as a safe house. This location is more than equipped for you to thoroughly indulge yourself with exquisite experiences. You are invited to enjoy yourselves freely. Welcome all to the
Apothem. I ruined it with my horrible pronunciation. Apothem. I guess it's a silent G, like in the word phlegm. Oh boy. Awesome! Art audibly pumped his fist in the air. Although no one else displayed such a loud presentation of excitement, the other students were vividly talking amongst themselves at the prospect of such a blessing regardless. The projection cut out as the announcement concluded. The students began to wander again, likely to try out what the climbing center and spa lounge had to offer. Everyone seemed to be breaking into their own groups while I stood still. I was excited, but a feeling of uncertainty stirred in the depths of my mind, suffocating my enthusiasm. Did I really belong here? As far as I knew, I wasn't an ultimate student. No intense talents, no masterful skills, not even interesting experiences. I started to feel sick with anxiety.
Hey, Echo. I'm going to the spa with Pandora. Would you like to join us?
Ashley's voice brought me out of my thoughts. No thanks. You two go on ahead. I'm actually feeling a little tired from all the running around. I think I'll just take a nap. Ashley looked at me with silent, understanding eyes.
All right then. If you change your mind, you know where to find us.
She gave me another quick hug before pairing off with Pandora. Ash, why didn't you tell me about your talent? I muttered under my breath before sulking off. Yeah, something's weird. I'm sorry, but like, why wouldn't she tell Echo that she has this talent? They've been friends supposedly for years. Pen pals and all these things. She was in his car. He was dropping her off at her house. Something's fishy. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but it's fishy. I trudged down the stairs back to the first floor foyer. There, I saw Cannon in almost the same position she was in when I met her. She didn't tell me if she had an ultimate title when we introduced ourselves. Perhaps she doesn't have one either? I thought about approaching her to ask, but my throat felt dry. I didn't feel like being disappointed in case she did have an ultimate talent. I quickly turned the corner before Cannon could notice me when I heard the sound of a shutter clicking. Turning at the sound, I saw Cannon developing a picture from an instant camera. Aw? Huh? How do you have a camera? What do you mean, how? I thought we weren't allowed our personal possessions. I didn't have anything in my room, and when I asked Ash, she said she didn't have anything in her room either. I'm a photographer. I need my tools, don't I? So are you the ultimate photographer? Anna didn't reply. She just bowed her head once in a slight nod. Thirsty, I have no more water. I ran out of water. Okay. Then that picture you just took. She reluctantly handed me the developed photo. Oh, cute. Her photo captured the moment I had begun to turn down the hall to avoid speaking to her. I thought she hadn't noticed me. This is... I know what you're thinking. It's a horrible picture of you. I know it is. Because it's not a picture of you, per se. Confused, I stared at the photo longer. I'm not a portrait photographer. I specialize in a composition called Rückenfigure, which translates literally to back figure in German. I don't expect you to understand. I listlessly handed the photo back to her. That's interesting. Cannon silently took the photo and stuck it in her pocket before occupying herself with the camera once more. But I admit, I didn't make an attempt to sound enthused. In truth, I wasn't. Cannon did have an ultimate talent after all. If that was the case, what was I doing here? My heart and mind were racing. Am I just an anomaly? Was this all a mistake? Did I accidentally take the spot of an actual ultimate student? No way. My voice croaked in desperation. This lavish mansion was meant to protect ultimate students, those students and their wide-reaching influential skills, those students who were dexterous masters of their craft, those students who were charismatic aura assured my averageness, those students who created nostalgia-inducing delights, those students who won races upon races with pure skill. A repulsion rose in my stomach. I felt my breath shorten, my chest tighten. Suddenly, I felt weak. What's wrong with you? You're shaking. I barely heard Cannon. I leapt for the front door. I needed to evacuate myself from this overbearing presence of the people who accomplished near impossible feats at such a young age. I was just an insignificant bug who wandered into a lion's den. I can't compete. I don't belong here. I grasped the door handle so tightly, I saw my knuckles turn white. But soon... Bro got electrocuted. What? I only saw black. He tried to leave and got electrocuted. This is a different room. This is not his room, because that's a different painting. I wearily opened my eyes. I was in bed, back in my personal room. No, you're not. Or so I thought. Forte was reclining in a love seat at the corner of his room, combing over what seemed like sheets of music. I was in Forte's room. You're awake. He set the leaflet down before approaching me with an offering of water. I graciously accepted the cup and gathered my thoughts. My right hand was tingling. After gaining my composure, I managed to croak out a question. Forte, what happened to me? Curious. That's what I would like to know. Huh? What do you mean? Well, after the welcome announcement, I inspected the jazz club but was quickly uninterested in the venue. I went downstairs to retreat to my personal quarters for the afternoon, but was promptly stopped at the foot of the stairs by Cannon. She said you collapsed at the foot of the foyer's front door. Cannon told me to keep an eye on you. Quickly left. I scoffed. How considerate of her to have someone else take care of me. But why you collapsing? She didn't say. It all came back to me. I wasn't behaving clearly. Yeah. I remember now. I was electrocuted. Sorry. I didn't realize that there was more text there. I clicked before I noticed it. I only didn't notice it because I closed my eyes for a second. Electrocuted? Forte was appalled. I, on the other hand, felt nothing. I took another sip of water and closed my eyes. I felt wildly fatigued. Forte looked at me with a concerned silence for a minute. Echo, it might not be my place to say, but you shouldn't feel a need to escape. We're all being generously treated with a safe location to relax in, away from danger. No, you don't understand. I don't have an ultimate talent like the rest of you. My head drooped in shame, regret, humiliation. I don't have any skills or talents to offer the world. He fell silent again. Be that as it may, you are still a peer who shouldn't feel outcast from the rest of the group. You must be with us for a reason. I gazed into the water cup blankly. Come. The rest of the group is in the dining hall. I believe they are just starting dinner. Forte placed a firm hand on my shoulder before offering his hand to help me out of bed. I complied quietly. Is this going to happen yet? We've time. Are we going to be told what's going on yet? The dining hall was fully occupied by our small class. Hey, there you are. Art waved at me from the end of the table as I entered the dining hall, causing everyone's heads to turn. Ashley and Pandora quickly ran to my side. What happened to you? Are you okay? Folks, please, allow Echo to have a seat before bombarding any questions. The rest of the class paused their dinner as Forte helped me to an open seat by Ashley. Cannon wasn't at the table. Rather, she was standing next to the entryway. She must have noticed me looking at her and turned away once more. Before I could confront her about what happened in the foyer, Missy placed a pork cutlet meal before me. Ashley wouldn't stop fretting in concerns to your well-being, so I took the liberty of getting a meal ready for you whenever you decided to come down. This is just what I needed. How did you know? I didn't. Perhaps I was just lucky. Missy shrugged indifferently, but I saw her mouth turn a small grin. She seemed satisfied with having pleased me. I gave her a small smile back and helped myself to a small portion to regain my energy. Our little community had dinner together. Conversation lightly touched on everyone's mutual awareness of the preservation project. It was a project in which ultimate students who signed up would be placed under protective custody to preserve their skills to benefit the future. Similar stories of talent discovery arose. Certain students grew up in an environment where all they knew was that particular skill, yet still they rose to super excel beyond wildest expectations. I, of course, had no place in the dialogue. I paid no specific attention to the chatter, my mind going blank with white noise whenever the topic of ultimate talents came up. As we finished our meals, Missy and Cyrus offered to pick up the dishes as everyone else restlessly waited to hear what had happened to me.
Echo, you have no idea how worried I was.
Ashley was holding my hand tightly.
Ash, if you were feeling up to it, would you mind talking about what happened?
I glanced over at Cannon next to the entryway. Her face was an iron mask. Well, I was feeling tired from running around the mansion exploring, so after the welcome announcement in the second floor atrium, I decided to go back to my personal room, for a nap. Going down to the foyer, I was curious about the front door. I wanted to go outside, so naturally I grabbed the door handle, but I was electrocuted by it. Forte found me collapsed and carried me back to his room to rest.
You were electrocuted by the door handle?
Perhaps we should investigate.
What? Get electrocuted ourselves?
Of course not. I simply want to inspect the door handle for any suspicious mechanisms. Is there a single window in this place? Have they seen a single window? We should also check the floor maps again to see if there are any similarly rigged exits. And what would this accomplish? It would ensure our safety, that nothing like this happens again. But I'm sorry, what? I went southern for some reason. You're not Teria. Okay.
Our safety as ultimate students is the Preservation Project Safe House has already been compromised by the existence of such a trap.
The group fell silent. Cyrus was right. It seemed as if we had already fallen into some kind of trap the moment we woke. So we're just going to do nothing? Cannon's indifferent voice broke the silence.
Cannon's right. We shouldn't sit idly by after our friend Echo was put in danger. We ought to investigate, if not as an insurance measure, but to get to the bottom of the trap that caused such harm.
The group agreed and went their separate ways to search for clues. But before anyone could get far away, an announcement rang in.
It is now 9 p.m. Nighttime will begin at 10 p.m. Facilities will be closed until 7 a.m. the next morning. Even the darkest night will end, and the sun will rise.
It seems like we'll just have to suspend the investigation up until tomorrow. Suspend. There's no use in wandering about aimlessly in the dark. I suggest you all rest up. I realize the situation is dire, but please do your best to save your energy for tomorrow.
Sounds like a plan. We shall meet here tomorrow morning for breakfast and discussion.
Eesh, some first day, huh? One by one, everyone filtered out of the dining hall, low, concerned murmurs filling the corridors. Ashley stopped me back in the dining hall as we were the last few left.
Look, Echo, I'm sorry if you felt hurt that I didn't tell you about my talent.
Huh? How did you know?
I'm your best friend, aren't I? I can tell when you're distraught.
Right, but you don't tell him that you are an ultimate jockey? You just decide not to tell him that? You're best friends and you don't...
It was after that special welcome announcement I noticed you were off. It must have been difficult, feeling like you don't belong.
I admit, it's been awfully overwhelming. I never meant to keep it from you. Oh, sorry.
I never meant to keep it from you. It's just... I felt like being involved with me could only ever cause trouble.
Why?
Not the horse racing aspect, but the ultimate student status aspect. To get tied up with such intense people could only amount to ultimate levels of trouble.
Ash, you know I'm your friend through and through. I don't think being friends with Ashley Westbridge, Horse Girl, is any trouble at all. Ashley giggled. I love you, Echo. You really are a good friend. Of course, I love you too. Uh-huh. She's gonna die. I'm sorry. We made our way back to the living quarters hall and said our goodnights. Before entering my room, I saw Art and Lyle lingering in the halls. Hey, you two, is something wrong? Nope. In fact, we're having a strategy meeting. Strategy meeting? Art asked me if perhaps our being locked in a mansion situation is a big puzzle. Think about it. Escape rooms exist, so maybe this mansion is just one giant escape room. I admit, it's not impossible. And it does sound interesting. Right? So what do you think? I'm not sure yet. I have a feeling it's some convoluted ARG scheme. ARG is alternate reality game, if anybody didn't know that. At least I that's one of these things that I actually know. ARG? Alternate reality game. It's a type of game that is interacted with through different media experiences, whether it be online or in real life. Yeah, but what kind of ARG would electrocute somebody for trying to leave? Electrocute. Tasks range from decrypting audio logs on a website to doing something odd like cleaning up local cemeteries. I see. Given those examples, it's plausible that diffuse and electrocuting door could be added to that list of tasks, right? Well, they're typically employed to the public to boost attention for a product. What the product is in our scenario, I'm not certain. And if this is an ARG, there must be a puppet master that's setting these things up, much like an escape room's game master. An escape room and ARG sound pretty similar in terms of involvement and puzzle solving. I suppose they're not entirely different entities. Wow, you got it all figured out already! Puzzles are my strong suit. I said goodnight and left Art and Lyle to conclude their strategy meeting as I returned to my personal room. Art is just kissing everyone's butt. I felt the mental and physical exhaustion hit me all at once as I let myself collapse onto the bed. To think I'd be stuck in a luxury mansion with super talented students. My life before this moment had hardly been as eventful as this single day. I lived a rather average life, with as little trouble one could hope for. It was almost utopian in a sense. I never thought it boring or repetitive. It was like my mundane life caused me to be a little more worrisome than any other person, likely as a will to keep everything the same going forward. However, this strange situation threw me in a state of disarray. I was wholly out of my element. Above all, I couldn't help but feel guilty for making Ashley worry. Whatever it is I found myself in, I clearly don't have a place. I sighed heavily. I should get some proper rest. The room was mysteriously fixed with a few sets of my clothing in the closet of the personal bedroom. I let my body relax under the repetitious rhythm of a warm shower. Crawling under the weighty covers, I turned down the lights and let my eyes slowly drift closed. Tomorrow, what were we going to discover? The killing game. Prologue, what's in the middle? This art, look, it's beautiful! Who's the artist? I opened my eyes at the sound of the alarm. In my personal room, I sat up from the bed and took a look in the surroundings. So, the events of yesterday weren't part of some strange dream. My personal room that I initially thought was luxurious and comfortable now felt oppressive. It wasn't mine. It couldn't be, since this mansion we found ourselves in was for ultimate students. I was reminded of my mediocrity and let my head fall back on the pillow. Ugh, I don't want to see everyone. I grumbled and drew the covers over my head, uselessly trying to will away the shame of yesterday. That's Ashley, let's be honest. I heard Ashley's muffled voice through the door. Good morning, Echo. Just coming to check on you. Oh, just give me a minute. I'll be right out. After getting properly dressed, I met Ashley outside my door in the living quarters hallway. Good morning, Ash. Oh, sorry. Good morning, Ash. We walked casually down the hall to the foyer. You sleep all right last night? Yeah, I slept all right, considering. I hope you're not feeling too down about this whole situation. I'm still coming to terms with it, but I'm feeling a little better after getting some rest. And besides, everyone has been really nice. That's good to hear. You've always been good at bouncing back. I don't trust Ashley. In the foyer, we were met with 2 other students loitering outside the dining hall. Sorry. I'm not a morning person. Neither am I, but I'm really curious about the door. The door seems scary. Good morning, say, Lyle. Good morning. Let's investigate to our best ability, yeah? Sorry, I just made myself yawn for real. You seem better, Echo. Nothing a good night's rest can't take care of. True that. Yeah, morning. Weird. I'd be having dinner right about now, but I'm waking up instead. Huh? What do you mean? One of my watches is set to my hometown time, and it says 7:43 p.m. Saturday. Sunday? Clearly that says Sunday, you dum-dum. 6th of December. 7:30 p.m.? It's a 12-hour difference from now. What if it's switched? What if, like, it's 7:43 a.m. for them, but it's 7:43 p.m. in the real world? Why that would be a thing? I don't know, but it's a possibility. Oh, the date checks out. I was just thinking that the winter solstice will be coming up in about 2 weeks or so. Assuming we're somewhere westward from Say's date, today would be Saturday. I guess we're all from different places. The time for certain people would be a little different. Even so, all our alarms were set to the same current time, so we'd eventually end up on a uniform schedule, right? Yeah, like recovering from jet lag. A bit unfortunate for those with larger time differences, though. Winter. It's too cold. But the new year is fun. In the dining hall, the familiar warm aroma of fresh bread wafted through the room, my senses swathed in comfort. Oh, cute. Pandora placed a basket full to the brim with freshly baked delicacies at the center of the dining table. Good morning, you two. You've been working hard, huh? Oh, of course. Why do I keep doing that? I felt the sweet and savory fragrances seep into my body, the warmth of a sun-kissed, dewdrop-covered morning. The smell alone was sublime. Such a lovely setting. Yeah, it would almost be a shame to eat it. Almost. We wouldn't be doing Pandora justice if we didn't enjoy it. Oh, you're too kind. Help yourself. That's alright. We'll wait for the others. I sat at the dining table with Ashley and waited patiently for the rest of the class to arrive. The rest of the class filtered in, and we began to help ourselves to Pandora's treats, as well as beverages provided by the automated menu. After we settled in, Missy stood at the head of the table to begin the discussion. Good morning, all. I trust you have had a good night's rest. Our topic this morning will consist primarily of the problematic nature of the foyer's front doors. We will also be investigating the rest of the mansion for any other exits that might have similar mechanisms helping us from going outside. You may split into groups or investigate it as individuals, but if you find anything at all, please utilize the digital kiosk found in the room you're in to relay a message. Relay a message? The digital kiosks can do that? Yes. I discovered it with Cyrus before we retired to our rooms last night. As it turns out, the digital screens are not just for displaying maps or the specified function it provides in its resident home. It functions as a remote messaging system between all digital kiosks in the mansion. For example, it can be used to communicate between the first floor to the second floor, and we can assume further floors as we gain access to them. It's rather a rudimentary feature though. One would scan their bracelet on all screens across the mansion to unlock the feature and type using the on-screen keyboard. You cannot send to specific recipients, however. Once you complete and send the message, it will show up on the screen for 2 minutes before deleting itself. For the most part, the messaging system is used to translate the voice announcements to text for those who are hard of hearing. The mansion is truly an all-encompassing in its endeavors to accommodate all. And that is precisely why we must investigate the reason the mansion itself would cause its residents harm. The group unanimously agreed. The meeting concluded as we finished breakfast. Everyone decided to split up and search one room themselves. While I was still deciding where to go, Lyle approached me. Hey, Echo. Would you mind coming with me to investigate the foyer doors for a moment? Huh? Why me? Because you were the one who experienced the shock firsthand. I was wondering if we could go back and retrace your steps to find clues along the way. I guess we could, but in all honesty, there's not much to retrace, I don't think. Nonsense. There's no harm in a second look with a fresh pair of eyes, yeah? You might see something different this time around. Okay. In the foyer, Missy was already doing her own investigating, intensely staring at the walls. So, what exactly were you doing yesterday? I thought carefully about what I was going to say. I didn't want to tell anyone that I had been worried about not having a talent, which led to my reaching for the door handle in the first place. I thought I'd be outcast if others knew I wanted to run away. After the welcome announcement, I was feeling a little tired from running around earlier that day, so I went back downstairs to my personal room. And? Like I said, at dinner last night, in passing, I was curious about the door and wanted to go outside. Is that so absurd of a reason to want to reach for the door? Whoa, no need to get defensive. I was just wondering if you saw anything suspicious along the way. Suspicious? Cannon immediately came to mind. Forte said she just left me collapse for him to take care of. Why did she flee after I collapsed? I don't think Cannon is a bad person. I think she doesn't know how to handle people, and I feel like she wanted to help but she couldn't, so she got someone who could. I don't think she can carry him into the room, but Forte's strong enough to do so, you know? I don't think she's the problem. I'm suspicious of Ashley. I really can't think of anything at the moment. I guess I'll have to dig a little deeper in the scene of the crime. Thanks, Echo. I'll investigate on my own from here. I don't know if I helped at all that much, but you're welcome. Lyle went over to the door and inspected the surroundings, carefully tracing the paneling for any hidden mechanisms. In the meanwhile, I was curious. I wondered if Forte could help me figure out what went on in Cannon's disappearing act. Forte was, unsurprisingly, in the theater, inspecting the backstage area. Hello, Echo. Doing well, I hope. A little worried about the electrocuting door, but fine nonetheless. Excellent. I wish for you to keep your spirits high despite the scare. Should you need my assistance, I shall offer my services. Yeah, about that, I wanted to ask you about yesterday. I thought you might want to know more. However, the truth is as so. What I told you yesterday is all the information I have. I see. I admit, I didn't expect much more than what he had told me. The story seems straightforward enough, especially considering the emergency. Maybe you could tell me if you noticed something odd? Forte paused. I suppose there was a trifling fact that Cannon fled up to the second floor right away. It's strange. Had I been startled by such an event, I might have retreated back to my quarters on the first floor instead. Upstairs, huh? So other than Cannon fleeing the scene, I can't particularly think of anything to note. I suppose the whole ordeal was quite frightening. I'm sorry, Echo. I know it's a dire situation, but honestly, I'm not particularly equipped for this sort of thing. The mental hoops and note-taking required of an investigation are much too overwhelming. Okay, bro, then you are in for a rude awakening because we all know what's coming. That's okay. I appreciate the thought, and actually, that little tidbit helps. Does it now? Bravo for figuring something out. Okay, he's useless to me. I made my way through the foyer, past an intensely focused Lyle and Missy, and up the stairs to the second floor. At the top of the stairs, I saw the digital kiosk light up, displaying a message on the screen. Hi, Climbing Center, from Ashley. Well, it's certainly working. I paid no further attention to the message and continued on. Where could she be? I toured down the hall to pass the jazz club, blah 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 blah. My search came up short. If you're looking for Ashley, she literally just said she's in the climb center. Hello? Upon entering the atrium, I saw her sitting by her lonesome in the center. Oh, she's not looking for Ashley, sorry. Like, if you're looking for Ashley, she literally just told you where she is, you dum-dum. Cannon. Before I could confront her again, a ringing sound played, and an announcement followed. It is now 9 a.m. of the second day. Please make your way to the second floor atrium for a special announcement. Ugh, what now? The few students that were already on the second floor made their way over quickly. Ashley, Art, and Cyrus. Hey, did you see all my messages? Oh, that wasn't from Ashley. That was from Art. Sorry, I'm a dum-dum. I saw the A and I was like, okay, that's Ashley. Yes. Hello, right back at you. Cool, it works. Well, at least we discovered something from Art's larking about. The rest of the students from downstairs arrived shortly after. Lyle, Missy, Forte, Say, and Pandora. Now, what could this be? Maybe some third floor opened up? That might prove helpful. I haven't found much on my end. Whatever it is, can't they just use the message system thing instead of making us walk all the way up here? With all the students gathered in the atrium once again, the bronze globe projected an emblem. But this emblem was different, and the voice that announced the following was different. Oh, what should I do for this? Welcome, welcome. Thank you all for joining us today, and I hope you've been enjoying your special vacation away from it all. The voice was more high energy, like some sort of radio host or sports announcer.
This is an extra special announcement for the students with us today. You have been cordially invited to play a heart-pounding, soul-searching, excitement-inducing game. A game? That's right, a game. And not just any game. This is the beyond universal, glamorously popular game that many students like yourselves get the privilege to play. Why, yes, it's the mutual killing game.
Mutual killing game?
Ah, the mutual killing game. A game of hope and despair, a game of allies and betrayal, a game of cause and consequence. It's all so thrilling. Yes, indeed, you are all gathered here today by your own volition to participate in the festivities. To sign up for the Preservation Project is to sign yourselves to the exclusive game of life and death itself.
Upon hearing that detail, I saw the other students' faces go pale with shock. We were all thought to be gathered in a place of safety. That idea was apparently a farce. What the hell is happening? My cry was futile. The announcement was completely automated, and the horrible things it was saying didn't stop.
This delightful game will take place over 7 days in the very halls you explored just a day ago. If you'd like to leave earlier, then follow this one very simple rule. Kill a fellow student without getting caught. Trying to leave by any other means will result in consequence, as some of you may have learned firsthand from a little jolt of a discovery. Although I can't see why you would want to leave anyway. Inside you have all sorts of lovely accommodating amenities. Live a luxurious life with these wonderful walls. That is, if you can survive. If you kill without getting caught, the ultimate prize, an amazing prize befitting an ultimate student, awaits the victor. I know. It's a lot of information to take in at once. We will allow you to absorb this information for the remainder of the day, so relax in the spa lounge, go climbing. But tomorrow, the real fun will begin.
The announcement ended on one final disgusting note before cutting out. The class was in absolute shock.
No way. Can't be.
Wait. What is this? A sick, twisted joke is what it is. Everyone was murmuring amongst themselves.
There isn't anyone who would take that dreadful announcement seriously, is there?
Pandora voiced the question at the back of everyone's mind. How could one? It's merely an awful jest.
There's no way any of us would commit such an act against friends.
Who said we were friends? I mean, he's got a point. Who knows? Maybe one of you is the puppet master running the shtick. This is turning out to be more interesting than that diffuse and electrocuting door puzzle. This ARG is fun. Bro, you're not gonna be thinking it's an ARG when you end up dead.
Lyle! What on earth are you talking about? You think this is a game?
What else could I be talking about? I'm the ultimate puzzle master. Being a participant here is simply a test of my skill. I'll figure this puzzle out yet. Don't you worry. The rest of us were paralyzed in the atrium. The immense gravity of the situation was oppressive. No one said a word. Eyes were anxiously darting around the room to see who took the announcement seriously and who didn't. To think, just this morning, we were having a communal breakfast. The atmosphere was unbearably heavy. I stood there in a cold sweat. I was dumbfounded. It was a killing game. specifically targeting ultimate students. It was selfish to think of this during a moment when all our lives are potentially in danger, but I really didn't belong here. Ooh. Nice. That's the prologue. I guess that's the end, right? Ooh, I like this a lot so far. I'm liking it. I like the art. I like the characters so far. It's all really... Ooh, we have an intro. Oh, yes. You can't see me, but I'm dancing. Look at this beautifully constructed... Who the heck are you? Who's Zero? Look at this professional, beautiful... Oh my god, her name is Canon like the camera. I just realized that. I like Lyle's design the most, I think. Is this spoiling me? Is this like the original Trigger Happy Havoc intro spoiling everybody? You may now view the student roster from the main menu. Okay. But I am going to end this part here. I think that's a perfect place to end it. And we will get into the meat of the killing game in the next part. I am enjoying this immensely. Like, this is really good. Like, the art, the characters, the intro. It had an intro. Like, this is very well done, and I really enjoy it. Even here at the bottom, I could just go to the menu from here. It's pretty cool. But anyway, I'm going to save, and I blanked. But yeah, I'm gonna end it here, and I will see you in the next part where I don't know what's gonna happen, honestly. We'll see. Who the heck was that Zero person in the intro? Like, who the heck is that? Wait a sec. Was it Forte? Did we see him? I don't remember. We didn't see him, right? I'm so confused. Anyway, that's the whole point. We're gonna play and we're gonna find out. But I hope you enjoyed this part, and make sure you subscribe to know when I will post the next one. And I will see you then. Bye bye.